What's up, everyone? Just wanted to say, a chapter in my life has ended. A 7-year long chapter. Emphasis on the word long, guys. So you all know from a couple of my previous videos that I said I was homeless. That's changed. God got me an apartment. I became homeless November 2nd of 2011. And in a way, it was a very devastating circumstance. I'd been working 2 jobs. So had my other half at the time. We're still friends. We're not together anymore. But we're very good friends. I'm not going to change. She was holding down 2 jobs also. And we got our hours cut at one, and at the other, a day was cut because we were delivering newspapers, and they went digital. They stopped producing newspapers on certain days, and a bunch of customers decided to go ahead and subscribe online and stop getting the physical paper. And at that point, we started losing a lot of funding for our rent and our bills. We also weren't doing too well in the food department. And it got to a point that one month we couldn't pay our rent. We went to the local shelter in Davis, California for some help, which is run by Davis Community Meals. They were supposed to have a service where a woman comes out once a month for rental assistance. And we went to go sign up for an appointment. The day of our appointment, when we showed up to the shelter, we showed up to a note on their door, and that note said, "I'm sorry, but we are closed due to a certain person's birthday." I won't name any names. No need to. When we went home, I called, and there was no answer. It was very obvious that, there was no one there. So, at that point, we decided to breathe, and we're like, okay, it's kind of messed up. They didn't call us. I waited till the next day, and I called, and I asked if we could reschedule. We had a vehicle. We could have met the woman at her normal office. Unfortunately, they told us, "I'm sorry, but you'll have to wait until next month." Well, at that point, we really couldn't. I mean, we were 2 weeks into having to pay rent. And that woman didn't come until, I think it was mid-month or the 3rd week of the month. By that point, we would have already gotten our pay to quit. And they weren't willing to wait another month when we told them what was happening. We tried to save our apartment for about 8 or 10 months longer. We were able to hang on. We were doing paycheck advance places. But guys, let me tell you, if you don't know already, don't get into things like check into cash or anything like that, because those are dragons chasing their tails, and eventually it's going to eat itself, and there's no getting out unless you've got a big sum of money coming in the future so you can pay this stuff off without living paycheck to paycheck in the hole. And that's exactly what happened to us. So in a way, the shelter in Davis had a nice large hand in creating my homelessness. We were homeless for 7 years. mostly in the downtown location of Davis. And we went through a lot. We didn't go through nearly as much as the other homeless out here. I really do believe that God had a hedge of protection around us. I only got stolen from a couple of times. Major items, yes, but only a couple of times in 7 years. I'd never really been assaulted while I was out here. Other people have been assaulted numerous occasions. As much as the police wanted to, they couldn't find any reason in the entire time that we were out there to arrest us, ever. Although I'm sure there were times when I might have pushed them a bit with my mouth. I have a bit of an emotional issue sometimes. It gets tiresome being moved along for no real reason. And I would occasionally explode for it. And usually, when it comes to a person's mouth here in Davis, cops don't play and they will arrest them. Again, God is merciful to me, and I don't know why He's so merciful to me compared to other people. But He didn't allow me to get arrested. You all know I'm an ex-meth addict. One of my fears when we lost our apartment was, will I be able to stay clean while I'm on the streets for an indefinite amount of time? Would I be able to handle it? Would I be able to sleep without worrying? He kept me. My streak has not been broken. I'm still clean from that stuff. Yesterday, we got the keys to the apartment. And I spent my first night in my own place in 7 years. I forgot to turn off my alarm on my phone, which was used so that we could wake up from whatever campsite we were sleeping at some business, so that we wouldn't get in trouble by cops or anything. I totally forgot to shut that alarm off. So that alarm woke me up this morning. But it did make me laugh, because I'd realized I get to shut this thing off, roll back over, and go to sleep. But in truth, I couldn't go back to sleep. I was too excited about the fact that I'm in my new place. And I really wanted to kind of go out this morning and just look around in the daylight. I did that last night with a flashlight. And just take it all in. And I am taking it all in. I want to show you guys something. A big open field right near where I live. And for me, this is a beautiful scene, because I'm used to seeing concrete and buildings, being downtown for 7 years. Check it out, guys. Isn't that awesome? I think it is. I haven't been surrounded by trees or anything that looks much like nature in a very long time. I gotta have my nature. I've gotta have vegetation around me and something that shows God's work instead of only man's hands work. And wow, there's a bunch of turkeys over here. I just saw them. This is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'm grateful. And I just wanted to make this video and tell everybody that a new chapter in my life has begun. The old one is closed. And I can't wait to see what this level is about to bring. When we first got on the streets, that homeless shelter was the only place that anybody had to get any kind of services. Unfortunately, that shelter does not hire on people that are equipped to deal with people who have mental illness, emotional disability, addiction, and anybody that has an attitude at all whatsoever usually ends up getting banned. And truth be told, those are always the people, the ones that are going off like that, those are the ones that needed the help the most. And they weren't getting it. When they get banned, they don't get to have any services. They don't get to have a shower. And some of them are indefinite amounts of time in their banning. So there's some that they haven't had a shower in at least a year. And it's really sad. I'm trying really hard right now not to cry. I cried out on those street corners. I yelled at the top of my lungs many, many, many times. For anybody who would listen, even the ones who weren't listening, I didn't care. They needed to hear what was going on in this town. They needed to know that the money that they're putting into that place was not being used right. The shelter's building was dilapidating. Bathroom was just gross, moldy, black mold. People went in and they would come out with an infestation on them. And you know about the banning. One day I ran into a city councilman and I told him my story. I told him the stories of others who were dealing with that place. And I also told him that I know that the city council puts money into that place. They should know what's going on with that money. They needed to send somebody, check up on what was happening. A couple of months later, after that literal run-in on a street corner with that councilman, we received our first real person who could help. We got a homeless advocate / liaison. And he's been on the job about 11 months, I believe. And I have watched him single-handedly, one man, get more people off of these streets into a place or into treatment than that shelter has in 20 years. And I'll tell you, that shelter doesn't like this advocate very much. And that shelter doesn't like me very much either right now. Then I also found out recently, right before I moved in, and I think that this is part of why I was being delayed for about a couple of weeks from my move-in process. Maybe it was so God could get me the epilogue to that chapter of my life. Not only did we receive a homeless advocate, but pretty good handful of meth heads that I had been interacting with for the last 7 years. They grouped together and they all went into treatment together. I didn't think I was getting through to them at all. It didn't look like it for a long time. But when they started to see that this advocate was really doing what he's supposed to do, when they saw my case moving forward, when they saw that it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a lie, it was real, I think that that's what gave them the strength to say that they could do something, that they might be able to have a life change too. I'm not sure. It's an assumption, really. But it's a pretty educated guess. And now they've all been in this treatment program together for 2 months. And from what I hear, they're doing really good. I got to see one of them. Matter of fact, that's how I got the news. They were on a day pass, and they came back to Davis to visit. They looked awesome. Their mind was a total 180 from when I had met them. They used to complain about everything. There was never anything good in their life. Now, when they were standing in front of me, I never heard a single complaint. All I heard was positivity. All I saw was smiling. And I saw health. I saw mental health. I saw physical health. And I saw emotional health on the good side. So this is the epilogue of my homelessness. And I'm going to keep you guys posted as my mission continues while I'm indoors. I don't plan to quit what I do. Not at all. And I hope that God gives me a clearer view on the things I need to do now. So, I want to thank the people who have been standing behind me through these last 7 years. And I want to thank God for putting them in my life. And I'm asking you, Dad, that you bless them and that you keep them and you make your face shine in their lives for standing behind me. And the ones that went into treatment, I ask that you protect them the way you have protected me. That you surround them with your love and your grace to overcome and to supernaturally be clean. That they don't have to worry about falling backwards again. And also to all my people who have been having problems dealing with alcohol. I need you all to know. You can do this. You've got a big God behind you. So, yeah. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Love, light, shalom.